Okay, this is the last and the fourth video segment for homework number 2. Look at what problem number 55 says. It says, look, the parameter t lies in the quadrant 2. Quadrant 2 is right here. This is quadrant 2. Remember, this is the cosine, this is the sine axis. All right. Now, it says write sine in terms of cosine. Now, first of all, we know that sine squared t plus cosine squared t is equal to 1. So sine squared t is equal to 1 minus cosine squared t. And sine of t is equal to plus or minus root of 1 minus cosine squared t. Now, the very fact that you are in quadrant 2 means that sine of t must be positive. Sine of t must be positive. Therefore, sine of t is square root of 1 minus cosine squared t. Okay? In other words, do not use the negative sign. Okay, that's how we do this problem. Let's go ahead and do the next one. So number 56. That's the way these problems go. They all go like this. Okay, let's get rid of these. Okay, so which one are we doing? 56. Now, quadrant 4 is over here. And once again, you have, we have cosine squared t plus sine squared t is 1. And cosine in terms of sine, so cosine squared t is equal to 1 minus sine squared t. And therefore, cosine of t equal to plus or minus root of 1 minus sine squared t. Now, very fact that you're in quadrant 4, it means that cosine is a positive number. So once again, do not take the negative sign. Do not take this. So cosine of t is equal to square root of 1 minus sine squared t. Okay, that takes care of this problem. Oops, let's get rid of these. Okay, next one, which is 57. It says write tangent in terms of sine. Well, first of all, tangent of t is equal to sine of t over cosine of t. And remember, in the first two I showed you that this cosine in terms of sine is plus or minus square root of 1 minus sine squared t. We already went through that. I'm not going to repeat it. Now the question is, what is the sign what is the algebraic sign that you're going to take? Now look, you are in quadrant 4. Quadrant 4 is right here. Now quadrant 4, the tangent must be positive. Okay, so and sine is negative. Sine is negative. Sine t is negative. And the tangent, which means this ratio must be positive, is positive. Okay? So the only way we can do that is this is negative already, so keep this negative sign. Throw away the positive from here. So tangent of t, if t is in that quadrant 4, is going to be sine of t over minus square root of 1 minus sine squared t. Because to begin with, this is negative because you're in that quadrant. And of course, you have a negative sign here, and the whole thing is going to be positive. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. This is a mistake. Just ignore what I said. This last one, ignore. Let's start all over. Let's start all over. This is a mistake. Ignore it. So let's see now. Tangent is tangent. You look at this. is negative. Okay, I'm really sorry about this. Sine is negative, tangent is negative. So let me erase these things. Man, I'm not reading this thing correctly. So, okay, so let's try again. Sine of t over plus or minus square root of 1 minus sine squared t. In quadrant 4, sine is negative and tangent is also negative. If that is the case, the entire expression must be a negative number. The top is already negative, so to make this whole thing a negative expression, we need to keep the plus sign. So ignore the negative sign. So tangent of t is equal to sine of t over square root of 1 minus sine squared t. That makes sense because to begin with, this is negative. The expression at the bottom is always a positive number. The ratio is a negative number. So that's the correct answer. Let's finish this thing. I'm really sorry about this screw up. Okay. All right. We are in quadrant 3. This is quadrant 3. In quadrant 3, first of all, tangent, which is sine over cosine, incidentally, is positive. And cosine of t, you can see this, you're here, cosine of t is negative. All right, so we have tangent of t equal to square root plus or minus square root 1 minus cosine squared t divided by cosine of t. This entire expression must be a positive number, and the bottom is negative. So in order to do that, the top, you must also keep the negative sign. So this, not the positive one, and tangent of t becomes minus square root 1 minus cosine squared t divided by cosine of t. There, cosine of t. The bottom is negative, the top is negative, the ratio which is tangent is going to be positive, which is consistent with being in quadrant 3. Okay, so the final problem. Is this the final problem or is more? I think there is 2 more. Find the values of the trigonometric function from the given information. Find the values of trigonometric functions from the given information. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, first of all, let's concentrate on 66. You're in quadrant 3. Quadrant 3 is over here. Okay. Remember, this is the cosine. This is the sine. Okay. And you're asked to find different things. You are in here, and therefore, well, first of all, sine of t is equal to square root of 1 minus cosine squared t. It's actually plus or minus, but then you have to pick the right sign based on BR. If you're in quadrant 3, this is going to be a negative number. So 1 minus cosine squared t. Do not take the plus. Do not take the plus because in that quadrant, sign must be negative. And now plug it in. Equal to minus square root of 1 minus 4 over 5 quantity squared with a minus sign here. And believe me, please do the algebra. This is going to be minus 3 over 5. Make sure you do the algebra. Okay, what is tangent of t? Tangent of t is equal to sine of t over cosine of t. Let's plug in the value. Sine of t, we just worked it out, minus 3 over 5. Cosine of t was given to you as minus 4 over 5. Needless to say, this is a positive number, 3 over 5. Better be if you're in quadrant 3. Tangent must be positive. What else do we have? Cotangent. Now, let me, do I have room here? Yeah. Cotangent of t is equal to 1 over tangent of t and I'll just have to plug it in. 1 over 3 over 4, which is 4 over 3. Let's leave room here. Secant of t is 1 over cosine of t. That was given to you. Cosine of t, you were told it's minus 4 over 5. 1 over minus 4 over 5, and this is minus 5 over 4. And cosecant of t, the last trick expression, is 1 over sine of t, and we just worked it out. So it's going to be 1 over minus 3 over 5, and this is going to be minus 5 over 3. Okay, let's do the problem 67. Let's do this. There must be an easier way. I don't have a good laptop here. I'm sure there's a way that you can track this thing and then delete it at the same time. I'm using a dummy eraser. Okay, so let's see now. It says that you are in quadrant 4. Quadrant 4 is over here. Okay? And secant of t is equal to 3. Now remember, secant of t is 1 over cosine of t, and 1 over 3, so that's what it is. Oh, I'm sorry. This is 3. That's what I meant. This is 3. This is 3, and therefore cosine of t is equal to 1/3. Now, because you're here, sine is negative. Because you're in quadrant 4, sine is negative. Sine of t is equal to plus or minus root of 1 minus cosine squared t. But you pick the negative sign. Do not take the positive, because we know that sine has to be negative in that quadrant. So you take the negative here, and then the rest you just write 1 minus 1/3 squared, and I'll let you do the algebra, minus root of 8 over 3. Please make sure you can get these things. And therefore, cosecant of t is equal to 1 over sine of t, and we just did the sine. It's this number. It's going to be minus 3 over root 8. Let's do tangent on the side. Tangent of t, you just have to plug these things in. Is sine t over cosine t. Sine t, we worked it out. It was right here. That's what it was. Minus root 8 over 3, and cosine was 1/3, right? So this is minus root 8, or 2 root 2, same thing. And cotangent is the opposite of that. So let me write it in this corner, okay? Cotangent of t is 1 over tangent of t, and that is the opposite of that. Opposite means reverse, the reciprocal of that. Okay? And that will take care of this problem. Last one, very simple. F of minus x, let's work it out. So this is equal to, for this problem, it's going to be minus x quantity squared, sine of minus x, and this is x squared, sine of minus x, but sine is an odd function, so it's going to be, this minus comes out, minus x squared, sine of x, so this is minus f of x. Therefore, this one is odd. Okay? Same thing, we'll show you this one is even. F of minus x is equal to minus x squared cosine of 2 times minus x. This is minus x quantity squared times cosine of minus 2x. Okay, this is going to be x squared, and because cosine is an even function, the minus, you can just drop it, and this is f of x. So this is even, and that is it. Make sure you